Bonsoir les enfants. Good evening. I hope you're all doing very well. Thank you so much for the feedback for the French videos. It's really lovely to hear from you. I'm so glad to hear that you've enjoyed them. As you could tell, we'll keep learning about the culture of France, a little bit of common vocabulary. It's really tricky to build up on grammar if we haven't learned the basics together to build up on those foundations. But obviously, if you know them, you can go as far as you feel comfortable with. But today, a bit more of a traditional lesson. We're going to be thinking about the geography of France, if you like, and we're going to learn a song. So, I wonder if you could pinpoint France on a world map. There it is. I'm sure you could find it. So, sorry, Madame Yates can't. There we go. We've gone up one too many. No problem at all. Here we go. Here you can see France, which is just on the edge of Europe. We have looked at the bordering countries before in class, but you can see here, or you could pause, have a guess, and then double check. But if not, we have got Belgium, Luxembourg, Germany, Switzerland, Italy, and then you come down here to the Mediterranean Sea where you've got Monaco, and then along this coast where the Pyrenees Mountains are, along this border of where the Pyrenees Mountains are, you've got Spain and Andorra, and then you have got the Atlantic Ocean and then the British Channel. So we've looked at that before, but let's have a look at the actual geography within France. That's what we're going to do today. So all of those blue lines are rivers. Now, in France, they have two different sorts of rivers. They have what's called un fleuve and they have une rivière. So un fleuve is a river that actually flows out to the sea, and une rivière is a river that doesn't. It's inland. Now, in general, you do refer to both sorts as rivers. Okay, as une rivière would be a river in French. And that's what we're going to be thinking about. So let's go back to our screen. And I wonder if you know the 5 longest rivers in France. Let's have a closer look. Let's see if they sound familiar. We have got the Seine, the Loire, the Dordogne, the Garonne, and the Rhône. So there you have the 5 longest rivers in France. So all of this would be sea here, and these are those 5 rivers. They're the fleuves. Do they sound familiar to you? Well, you might recall that in our French classroom, we have 5 tables where you all sit at one table on a regular basis when we are in school learning French, and your table's named after one of those 5 major rivers with a slight change. Can you remember what the change is? Let's look at the map again. When I first moved into the French classroom, sorry about that, we had a family that told me they go to a village in France almost every year, and that village is on the river Bouton. So what I did was, the table they sat at, I just changed. So we don't have Rhône in the classroom, we have Bouton instead. That's a small river. And I will come back to that later, but we're going to focus on those 5 main rivers in France. So the longest river in France is the Loire. It's over 1,000 kilometres long, and it flows through a large part of France, as you can see, all the way out to the Atlantic Ocean. So there's the Loire. Some very beautiful, scenic towns and villages along the borders of the Loire. Some very beautiful countryside as well. Our second biggest river, longest river I should say, is the Seine. And the Seine is that river that goes through Paris, separates the left bank and the right bank of Paris. It flows up to this area of France, and it carries out into the British Channel. So there you go, between Le Havre and Honfleur. Two towns in France. So, and that one is just over 700 kilometres long. So there's the Seine. So if somebody asked you this question in France, comment s'appelle la rivière à Paris? Comment s'appelle la rivière à Paris? What are they asking, I wonder? Can you work out from cognates what they might be asking and what you know? That's right, they're asking what's the name of the river in Paris. So the answer would be La rivière s'appelle la Seine. La rivière s'appelle la Seine. What's the name of the river in France? The river is called the Seine. So there you go. That is our second longest river. So our third longest river is the Rhône. Now the Rhône, or the Rhône, you could say in English, actually starts in Switzerland, but the part of it that's in France is just over 500 kilometres long. It runs through here, through some big cities, and it channels out into the Mediterranean Sea with, again, some beautiful scenic villages and towns along the route. Our fourth river is the Garonne. That's just over 500 kilometres long, and it goes, as you can see, from the Spanish Pyrenees here and comes out into the Atlantic Ocean. And the fifth river is the Dordogne. Now the Dordogne actually flows around here. Again, very popular area with French and European tourists. Beautiful countryside along the riverbanks, and it again flows through these lovely towns and comes out into the Atlantic Ocean. So, those of you that are sitting at the table that's called the Bouton, here it is, a picture of the Bouton. This little river here, well, it's a fleuve, as you can see, and it flows out again to the Atlantic Ocean. But for now, I'd like to concentrate on a town that is on the river Rhône, called Avignon. Have you ever heard of it before? Well, let me give you a clue. I wonder if some of you have heard of this song. Sur le pont d'Avignon, l'on y danse. Sur le pont d'Avignon, l'on y danse tout en rond. Les jolies filles font comme ça, et puis encore comme ça. Sur le pont d'Avignon, l'on y danse. Sur le pont d'Avignon, l'on y danse tout en rond. Some of you might be thinking, I know that song. Some of you thinking, that's Madame Yates. Finally, gone a little bit crazy. Well, let's find out about that song. It's actually called On the Bridge at Avignon. On the Bridge at Avignon, or On Avignon Bridge. So, let's find out about that. You might have noticed when I showed you the picture of the Rhône, this bridge actually is only partially still there. Part of it did crumble. Let's find out a bit more about that. The song I was singing, Sur le pont d'Avignon, on the bridge at Avignon, we dance there. On the bridge at Avignon, we dance in a circle. On y danse tout en rond. We dance in a circle. And then I said, les jolies filles font comme ça. The pretty girls go like that. There are multiple verses of that song. Some might say, les beaux garçons font comme ça, which means the handsome boys go like this. Now, this song is very, very old. So it comes from when they were doing these traditional dances and they were getting together in medieval times underneath the bridge. The bridge was actually built around 1100, but in medieval times, people gathered under the arches of the bridge. They weren't allowed to go on top of it. And they socialised, they got together and they danced. And so the song, very popular amongst French children, became very, very popular. And they would just make up different verses to go along with that same traditional chorus. You might know different variations and you might hear different variations. I just chose two. If we were in class, we could even have fun making some up on our own. So what happened was the bridge was destroyed really over a period of time with harsh weather. But around 1600, it really suffered from a catastrophic flood. But what's happened is there's only four arches left out of 22 that were there before. And the song originally was called Sous le pont d'Avignon, as I said, and then around the 19th century it became known as Sur le pont d'Avignon. Somebody changed it. So let's have a look at the words again. Sur le pont d'Avignon, on the bridge at Avignon, or on Avignon Bridge, L'on danse. We dance there, we dance there. Sur le pont d'Avignon. We dance on the bridge at Avignon. L'on y danse tout en rond. We dance there in a circle. And then if you did want to carry on, les jolies filles font comme ça. We take a curtsy. Et puis encore comme ça. And again, like that. And then that chorus repeats itself. Sur le pont d'Avignon, l'on y danse, l'on y danse. Sur le pont d'Avignon, l'on y danse tout en rond. And as I said, you could keep going and keep going. But that is for another time. Maybe when we are together, we can practice making our own words up for the song. So there you go. A little bit of French geography, a little bit of history. I hope you enjoyed it. Au revoir.